Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Rosalia. Saint Rosalia is also known as the patron saint of loneliness and in Palermo. She was born around the year 1130 in Palermo, Sicily, into a noble family. Her father was Sinibald, Duke of Quisquina and Roses, making Rosalia a direct descendant of Charlemagne. Even though she was surrounded by privilege and wealth, she was drawn to prayer, solitude, and deep spiritual life. While young girls at her age might have dreamed of marriage and courtly life, Rosalia's heart was longing for something divine. By her teenage years, Rosalia decided to leave her family and her comfortable life to dedicate herself entirely to God. She was inspired by the lives of desert hermits and the Christian mystics and sought a life of isolation and prayer. At first, she withdrew to a small cave near her family's land in Quisquina, deep in the Sicilian countryside. The cave became her sanctuary, and in its quiet darkness she lived in simplicity, sleeping on stone, fasting, and spending hours in contemplation. Later, she relocated to another cave, this one on Monte Pellegrino, a rocky mountain that overlooks the city of Palermo. She had no companions except the birds and wild animals. She carved a simple cross and an inscription into the cave wall that read, "I, Rosalia, daughter of Sinibald, Lord of Roses and Quisquina, have taken the resolution to live in this cave for the love of my Lord Jesus Christ." After years of living in the caves, Saint Rosalia died around the year 1166, likely in her mid-30s. Though she came from a noble family, her devotion and disappearance from society left a quiet legacy. She was just like an ordinary lady living quietly as a hermit, spending time in prayer and solitude. Over time, her name faded from memory. In 1624, about 5 centuries after her death, Palermo was struck by a devastating plague that left many people ill and dying throughout the city. During the crisis, a young man named Vincenzo Bonelli was grieving over the death of her fiancé who just died from the plague. Overwhelmed by grief, he climbed up Monte Pellegrino near St. Rosalia's hermitage to commit suicide. When he reached the mountain, St. Rosalia appeared to him and revealed the location of her long-forgotten remains. She instructed him to have her bones carried in a procession through the city to end the plague. Her remains were then solemnly paraded through the streets of Palermo, and miraculously, the plague began to subside. The sick people began to recover, and the disease disappeared. She was declared the patron saint of Palermo, and devotion to her spread throughout the city. The relics of her body are also kept inside the Cathedral of Palermo, and the location of her cave where she died became a sacred sanctuary for pilgrimage. Every year, the people in Palermo commemorates her with a traditional walking from Palermo to her sanctuary in Mount Pellegrino. Her feast day is also celebrated every 4th of September. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like, and subscribe.